From Hart Park in Wauwatosa, it's time for FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer. Good evening, everyone. Dan Pfeiffer with you, and we have a clash of rivals from the city of Milwaukee this evening as FC Milwaukee Torrent gets set to take on the Bavarian United Soccer Club. Two teams that have some ties to each other. I have made the remark that, to a degree, this may feel at times like a Marquette inter-squad match. Number of players from both of those, or from that college, on both sides of the pitch this evening. However, the Torrents, playing their fifth match of the WPSL season, are looking to remain unbeaten on the year thus far. They are 3-0-1 thus far on the season, trailing the Chicago Red Stars by one match. outward from the front of the net, kind of acting as a shield on the keeper, Warren. Bavarians think left flank. Can't get it over there the first time. They send it over there the second time. Campana, defended by her Marquette teammate, Kylie Sprecher. McWilliams is taken down. However, they will not call the foul. They will instead. McWilliams was the one to touch it out. It will be a throw-in for the Bavarians. Left side, cross in from Schwartz. Headed by the Bavarian. Ball towards the middle of the back line for the Bavarians. My understanding is our audio is kind of coming and going right now. I'm sure that's probably making the broadcast more enjoyable for some of you out there in internet land, but we apologize if you happen to be my wife, I guess. The one person on the planet that I think enjoys listening to me. Sub in for the Torrent. Saw Taylor DeLong, or correction. Elena Eckert come on. Yet another name from Marquette. She replaces Erin Johnston. 2-2 your score. We are at the 1/3 mark of this match. 31st minutes. Things have slowed down pitch of making sure you've got your best personnel out there if you can have them. But certainly if someone like Sprecher can't go, you've got to see some of the substitutes step up. And, when McWilliams came off for the Torrent, they had to go to their bench and to Kalina Hansen. And the first thing Hansen did when she got out on the pitch was just misplay a ball, and it resulted in an opportunity for the Bavarians right away. So, you hope to have depth. If you have players playing at this level, they're here for a reason. It's because they've played high-level soccer at whatever schools they may have gone to. Again, we have used the name Marquette a lot of times tonight, and I'm going to use it more often because, hey, I work there too. But it's one of those things where, clearly there's a reason why you have certain players on the pitch almost all the time, and Kylie Sprecher is out there almost all the time. So if you can't have her in the second half, it's going to be next man up. But that's the way it is at this level, and hopefully everything is in place for the Torrent so that the second half can go their way. And like I said, even though we had those 4 goals very quickly in the match in the first 20-plus minutes of this contest, the scoring did slow down after that. And I did say at one point late in the second half that I did not believe this match will end 2-2, and I'm going to hold by that belief. But again, I think it's going to be a question of stamina. And again, it's cooling off a little bit here at Hard Park tonight. Talked about the wind. We did have a little bit of rain here earlier today in Milwaukee, but not enough for the pitch to even be in any way damp when you walked out onto it before the match tonight. And that wind is definitely having an effect. It was at the Bavarians' back in the first half, so now the Torrent will have it at their back in the second half. And you can use that to your advantage. We saw that on one of the crosses that the Bavarians sent into the box. It was a bit of a challenge for Warren to come through there and get that ball because it was up in the wind. We saw, as I mentioned, the goal net flapping in the breeze, and you could see the ball wobbling a little bit in the breeze too. So maybe the Torrent will try and challenge Alexa Strotman in goal by sending more of those balls in with the wind at their back. But you don't want to play too much to the conditions because ultimately it's the team with the better skill that usually overcomes. And the Torrent are hoping that they're going to be that side tonight. And goodness knows they've had the skill thus far this season. Again, the Torrent trying to improve upon their 3-win, 1-loss record thus far in the Lake Michigan Conference of the Central Region of the WPSL. They started the season with 2 wins. Did the Torrent over the Green Bay Glory and Chicago City SC. Or correction, they started the season with a win over the Green Bay Glory, fell to Chicago City, and are currently riding a 2-game win streak with that win over the Glory and a victory over the Chicago Dutch Lions this past Saturday. Hoping to add to that tonight against the Bavarians, who once again are a team that does have a win over the Chicago Red Stars Reserve, the team that's been the dominant team in the Lake Michigan Conference the last few years, but also has fallen to the reserves and has a draw against the Dutch Lions to their name. Teams play 10 matches in WPSL play, and ultimately, the way it works out, it's the division champion that gets to go on to the larger WPSL championship knockout stages. So it's been the Red Stars reserves for the most part the last few years. They are a team with a lot of resources, of course, because they are part of the Red Star organization, part of the NWSL. The Red Stars, the dominant soccer club throughout the Midwest, really, on the women's side. Kealia Watts, J.J. Watt's wife, playing for the Red Stars this year. They've had a number of great names come through their organization over time. But, the Torrent are sitting in second place right now, and really it's because they're a match down to the Red Stars. They've played 4, whereas the Red Stars reserves have played 5. And if they can get 3 points tonight, they're right up there. They're in that tie with the Red Stars reserves for the top spot in the Lake Michigan Conference. And they would like nothing more than to be in that spot because they do still have to play the Red Stars reserves a couple times yet this year. The first of those two matches will come on July 10th. That will be down in Chicago. And then the Torrent will close out the regular season against the Red Stars reserves here at Hart Park in what should be an exciting match on Sunday, June 18th. 3 o'clock start time for that one. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here, folks. 2-2 is your score in this contest as the Torrent take on Bavarian United SC. The Bavarians made their way out of the locker room about 6 minutes ago. The Torrent, of course, still getting words of advice from Andy Davi in their locker room. They will emerge shortly, and when they do, it'll be time for the second half. And when that starts, we will come back with more WPSL action. But we're going to take one more break before the second half gets underway because we're going to need all the energy we can have for this 2-2 contest and the final 45 minutes. So once again, second half coming up, 2-2 your score between FC Milwaukee Torrent and Bavarian United SC. We'll take pause and we'll come back with the second half here on 11 Sports. Just about time for the second half here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. FC Milwaukee Torrent versus Bavarian United SC. 2-2 your score here at the half. A lot of goals in the first 21 minutes of this match. But then things went quiet from there forward. In the first half, we'll see if we have just as much excitement here in the first 20 minutes of the second half. Mentioned that we are here in Wauwatosa on what has been a warmer than expected evening. 79 degrees right now here in the city of Wauwatosa at Hart Park. Earlier today, they said it would get down around 65 by the end of this match. I don't think we're going that low by the time this one gets done. And as mentioned, there is a pretty significant breeze coming out of the south, or from our vantage point here on the stream, from right to left. So that means it will be at the Torrent's back here in the second half. Not to mention the Torrent will begin the second half with possession after the Bavarians kicked off in the first half. The show goes on. And it will go on in just a few seconds as the Bavarians will watch the Torrent kick off. Trying to see if Kylie Sprecher is back out there for the Torrent. Does not appear so right now. Tough tackle along the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for the Torrent as we are indeed back underway. Katie Swenson with that throw-in, sent forward by the Bavarians. And we mentioned Josie Kelderman. Young talent for the Marquette Golden Eagles as well as Bavarian United SC. Rival clubs here in the city of Milwaukee. A local derby, if you will. And, of course, these two teams will meet a second time later this year up in Glendale. Kelderman, maybe looking for a 1-2 ball there, didn't get it. Outside, that's Karch. Looking to reverse the pitch. Making her way back along the touchline, going backwards. Sends it back. Cassidy Blanchard. Well marked by Elsie Twombly. Ball sent out over the touchline. Throw in for the Bavarians. Kelderman to make the throw. She'll take a few steps backwards. Look the scene over. Sends it along the touchline. Karch. Played back. Torrent quick to give Blanchard the business. She sends the ball back to Victoria Foster, and now the Bavarians will try again after playing the ball around the back. 1-2 ball sent out wide. Ball played towards the box. Kelly Swenson is there. A lot of contact, shoulder to shoulder, says referee Ryan Birdsell. And now the Torrent will look to counter. Near side, outstanding move. Aaron Johnston says, let me go right by you, Marquette teammate Josie Kelderman. Coach's daughter, don't care. Ball over to the far side. Mackenzie Balserac can't chase that down. Tried to get ahead on it, couldn't get there, but she does keep it on the table. Played back, Elsie Twombly. Towards the near side, Saver, she's got 2 goals in the match. Thinks about going at it with the left foot. Instead, sends it out wide. Johnston. Johnston moves the ball back towards the middle. Torrent looking to find a seam in the Bavarian defense. Not seeing one thus far. An optimistic attempt by Aaron Johnston. That goes wide of the mark. Goal kick for the Bavarians. Talked also about the proliferation of ethnic clubs. A lot of pride here in Milwaukee, obviously. And this is a soccer town. People from Milwaukee know this is a soccer town. But, I think it's an image that maybe has been lost outside of the soccer community. And certainly the people who know about all of the clubs in this town. And it's because, for better or worse, as much as people have wished that Milwaukee could come together for a MLS-type effort, it just hasn't materialized yet. And, I'm friends with Peter Wilt, who has owned a number of clubs and is now heavily involved in Chicago House AC, a club that will make a visit here to Hart Park in one of their first ever matches as part of the Independent Cup, the NISA Independent Cup, run down the left side for the Torrent. That is Raleigh back in the match. He gets taken down, no call. The ruling will be a throw-in, I believe, for the Torrent. No, the referee initially calls for the foul. I think the ball girl was recommending that the foul be called, but the referee says, no, I want to throw in. Even the ball girl in disbelief that that was not a call. Instead, we will get a throw in for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Trying to make a move, Jordan Raleigh. Ball sent towards the middle by Johnston, sent away by the Bavarians. Quickly to the ball, Haley Block. She helps the Bavarians win possession. Sent outside, Kelderman. Kelderman playing kind of a defensive wingback position tonight, kind of just hanging back, moving forward when she needs to. Good run by Jamie Karch, able to outrun Katie Swenson briefly. Swenson has to call for reinforcements, and the result will be a corner kick for the Bavarians. Had to wait a second there. Wasn't sure if the official was pointing to the corner or pointing in the direction of the throw. It's one of the flaws of the signaling system of referees in soccer. It is sometimes a little bit ambiguous as to what exactly is going on. I am shielded a bit from the linesman there. Can't see what's going on in the corner. This is a corner kick for the Bavarians. Nothing materializes at first. Ball comes back. Raleigh, scrap for possession. Raleigh almost wins it. Instead, she takes down a player, and she is going to get booked for that one. First booking of the match, and it's going to go on Jordan Raleigh. She wasn't trying to do anything there. She swung and missed when she was trying to get to the ball. And she's going to have a caution in the 52nd minute. Nothing with intent, but if you're a referee, when a player takes that big of a swing and takes someone else down, you kind of just have to show the card. And Jordan Raleigh, wrong place, wrong time, trying too hard to get to the ball, got the player instead. And to keep things from getting too out of hand, if you're the player, you definitely want the official to show the card rather than have an opponent retaliate. A lot of Bavarian players in one area. That's Kellerman trying to take the shot. It ends up getting blocked by Kelly Swenson. She'll send the ball along the touchline, and indeed we do see Raleigh get pushed down, which is interesting after the previous play. No card comes out. Believe they're just going to call this a throw for the Milwaukee Torrent, but if you're referee Ryan Birdsall, this is what you're trying to avoid. And they do actually say set that ball down, as Birdsall now decides he wants this to be a foul instead of a throw-in. Substitution for the Torrent. Replacing Johnston for FC Milwaukee Torrent will be Sophia Toscano. She will make her way into the fray, although she'll hang out on the outside for this free kick. Edge of the 18, headed up by the Bavarians. Trying to win the second ball. Looks like the Bavarians will get possession, at least momentarily. And it is controlled by Michaela Schmelzer, as now the Bavarians try to work the ball down the touchline. A little bit too far on that through ball. Kelly Swenson so good over the ball. Ball played back to the keeper, Warren. She sends it a little bit far for Swenson, and she can't keep it in, despite the fact she gets a touch before it goes over the touchline. Throw in for the Bavarians. What I enjoy watching with Kelly Swenson is her patience when she's over the ball, especially when she's got time. If she knows she has the opportunity, she will move her body to get to the right angle to make the right play on the ball almost immediately. One of the best defenders, and folks, this is not hyperbole. I have watched college soccer around the Milwaukee area dating all the way back to 2001. If I had to pick an all-time team for the 20 years I've been around the sport, I'd want Kelly Swenson on my back line. The Bavarian back line challenge there, Victoria Foster. presence in the back for the Bavarians. Will send the ball out wide, looking for Kelderman. Instead, finds the foot of Sophia Toscano for the Torrent. Played back to Katie Swenson. Challenge on Jordan Raleigh. A lot of contact. Whistle. Foul called. Ooh, and then a hop out of Cassidy Blanchard as she did not like the call. As it was with the foul, that was a pretty hard call. And then a little bit of dissent as well. But Ryan Birdsall is avoiding going to his pocket. Jordan Raleigh has a bit of a target on her back right now after she got that card back in the 52nd minute. Kelly Swenson sends it forward. But I'll tell you what, if there's one player on the Milwaukee Torrent that you don't want to put in a position to get revenge, it is Jordan Raleigh, because I'll tell you what, I have seen her already this year hammer home a number of huge goals for this squad. She absolutely killed the Green Bay Glory individually in 2 matches. Scored a goal in the first half that was deadly against them in the game up in Green Bay, and of course had the game winner down here in Milwaukee. 2 new faces in for the Bavarians. Mackenzie Schill comes on, replacing Jamie Karch. And Alex Campana returns, replacing Victoria Foster. Opportunity for the Bavarians on the end line. Cross does stay in, but the linesman says that in the process of trying to cross that ball, it actually curved up and over the goalpost and out of bounds. So the Torrent perhaps luck out there with that one, and they get a goal kick, short goal kick from Warren. Not necessarily sure that was the decision that she wanted to make, or maybe hadn't thought that one out as much as she had hoped, because everyone was still on the attacking half for the Bavarians there, and there was a great deal of traffic. The Swenson sisters assisted some in making sure that the ball just got up the pitch, and now we do see the Bavarians take possession back, and they will try and work things out of the back. That looks like Blanchard, who has now gone back to play kind of a central defender position. Played around to Kelderman. She is kind of the point woman for starting things out along that wing. Nice move. Schill gets by one defender. Coming to the ball quickly, though, Michaela Horde. She picks up the slack for Katie Swenson, who got beat, and she sends it out over the touchline. Teamwork wins for the Torrent defense, although this will be a throw-in for the Bavarians. 1-2 ball back to Kelderman. She'll send a cross into the box, into the air. Keeper comes out, punched away for the moment. Torrent now maybe looking to counter. Sent down the pitch. A little bit of chaos right now. The Bavarians maybe trying to take advantage. Henschler out of the back. Played forward. Haley Block. She had that goal in the 10th minute to get the Bavarians on the board in this 2-2 contest. Right side, Kelderman gets by one defender, finds a wide open teammate. She tries to go over the top, but Taylor Hattori maybe got a little too fancy there. It was 1v1 against the keeper, Warren, but she does not even get a shot on frame, and the Torrent luck out. 59th minute, best opportunity of the second half for either team thus far, and it goes to the Bavarians. Ball played to the near side. It doesn't even find a Torrent foot. Schill looking to make a step over. Does get by the defender with the dummy. Ball sent into the middle, finds a Torrent head. One shot on wide of the net. Haley Block looking for her second goal of the match, but she's not on target. And this is where, if you're Quinlan Warren, you take a long time to take this goal kick to settle things down for the team wearing black tonight. Although the Bavarians get the head on the ball, at least the first ball off the goal kick. Saber able to control for the Torrent, and now they'll try and move things into the attacking half. Much of this second half thus far has been spent on the Bavarian side. Raleigh couldn't maintain possession. Now the Bavarians once again will try and work out of the back. Looking to work the left flank this time. Controlled by the Torrent. Towards the middle, that's Twombly. She gets tripped up from behind. No call. Ryan Birdsall lets him play. Maybe looking for advantage. I'm not sure why that wasn't a whistle and a foul. Coming from the back, Michaela Horde. Nice move, maintains possession. Torrent will be content to settle things down. Once again, playing things through the back. Kelly Swenson plays the ball wide to her sister. Over to the near side, Toscano. Seeing significant time here again with Kylie Sprecher. Being tended to for injury for the Torrent. The train moves from west to east here at Hart Park in the background as the Torrent take the ball towards the edge of the 18. It'll be sent out, and it'll be a throw-in for the Torrent as they look to maybe answer here. Possession's a nice stat and all, but the one that counts is goals. And as much as the Torrent have found themselves defending here in the second half, it won't matter if they can get some goals on the board. Number of substitutions here for the Torrent. I saw Abby Kloiber come out onto the pitch. Aaron Johnston also appeared to join her. Switch up on the throw here as it'll be a brief spat of possession for the Bavarians. Shot on! And a little bit high and wide as Saver was looking to complete the hat trick. Left foot for Yelena Saver. But it goes well wide of the mark. That was the best chance of the second half for the Torrent thus far. But in the 62nd minute, we are still level at 2 apiece. Very early to be talking about a result yet in this one. We still have a third of the match left to go, but got to be honest when I say I think both sides would be content to walk away with 1 point in this one. This has been a rather evenly played match. Again, the Bavarians have maybe had a little bit of the edge in possession. But the Torrent have definitely had some dangerous opportunities at times. A little bit too much space. Bouncing attempt goes into the arms of Quinlan Warren. Torrent got a little bit lax on defense there. And again, perhaps an optimistic shot, but they gave her time to line it up, and it was on frame and right there. Challenge. Katie Swenson sends it away, gets knocked down. We will get the whistle after there is no advantage. And Ryan Birdsall gives a long stare in the direction of Mackenzie Schill after, let's just say she didn't exactly pull up there when it was clear that Katie Swenson sent that ball away. Katie's sister Kelly will spin the ball backwards onto a spot at the 23-yard line of the football gridiron, and 28-yard line, and get things back started again for the Torrent. Shannon McWilliams with a good run up the right side. Ball played forward. Too far for Abby Kloiber. Goal kick for the Bavarians. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about, how it would be ideal if the many different forces in soccer in Milwaukee would come together and put together a bigger effort. And, you can maybe point to the Wave as something that kind of unites the city soccer-wise. You think back to the 90s. I often like to say that it's almost a shame. It seemed like Milwaukee hopped on the bandwagon of soccer before the rest of the country, because the Milwaukee Rampage drew some great crowds at Eline Soccer Park. I mean, we're talking crowds consistently, 6, 7, 8,000 fans, taking on some of the predecessors of the likes of Minnesota United and whatnot. And, some of those USL teams back in the days, and it was extremely popular compared to what you saw in a lot of other places in the country, and yet it was never able to materialize when MLS started up. There was that talk with Peter Wilt, his ball in the 18 here for the Bavarians, headed out beyond the end line. Goal kick for the Torrent. At that time, it was the Park East Freeway. Nowadays, of course, we talk about it as the Deer District in Fiserv form. But it just didn't happen. And Wilt goes on again to work with the Chicago Fire. He had already worked with the Fire when he was talking about bringing LS to Milwaukee. But then the Indy 11, Forward Madison, and again, now he's working with Chicago House AC. And just a dynamic force. The guy loves soccer. He loves Milwaukee. He's a Marquette alum. Spends his free time at the Highbury. Here's a guy that has changed the face of American soccer, and you can find him just hanging out, drinking his Schlapst, his mix of Schlitz and Pabst, watching soccer just like all of the other supporters at the bar down in Bayview. He wanted to make it happen in this town, but that's the tough part, is that on a certain level, you'd like to see, again, the various forces that sometimes don't always see eye to eye come together and make big-time soccer happen in Milwaukee. And the Torrent are trying to take the lead in that regard. And I give Andy Davi all the credit in the world, as we have an injury for the Torrent, and that does not look good. Hesitate to identify the player just yet. That is Shannon McWilliams, who is down, although she's stretching out. While she definitely cringed a little bit when she tried to come up, she's going to try and jog this off. And the way she was stretching things out, that maybe indicates that it was a cramp, but hesitate to say. She will get checked out. It's a nice round of applause, holding her calf. She will come off, and we will once again see Kalina Hansen come out. Been a rough night for McWilliams. Of course, she got hit in the face with the soccer ball earlier in the match. Had to come out briefly to be checked out for a concussion. Was able to return, but now some sort of an issue with her leg, and she's going to come off again to be examined. It's a rough sport, folks. And Shannon McWilliams has been one of the better and tougher ones for the Torrent here in the 2021 season, and hopefully they're able to fix whatever's ailing her right now and maybe even get her back out onto the pitch. In the meantime, we do see more of Kalina Hansen. But yeah, as we try to bring it together, and maybe it's the NWSL, maybe it's not something like MLS, or maybe as the National Independent Soccer Association grows, that's something that the Torrent look to, and with some of the bigger clubs that are in the NISA, maybe they can grow to be that. But, this is the best thing we have going in town right now, the Torrent, and that's no disrespect to the Bavarians and what they've built through the years, but, in terms of fan experience, in terms of marketing, Torrent are where it's at, as that ball by Josie Kelderman was not placed where she wanted to put it, and it'll be another goal kick for the Torrent, although, again, the Bavarians have had the ball around the 18 a lot here in the second half. Still 2-2, though. 69th minute of the match. It was on my mind quite a bit as I was getting ready for this match, thinking about two teams in Milwaukee. Again, a lot of ties between these two teams. And how on a certain level, we're all rooting for the success of soccer in this town. No matter what club it is that you're with. Even, you get out into some of the suburbs, SC Wave, derivative of Elmbrook United, and the different clubs that you've had through the years. A lot of contact there. Referee Ryan Birdsall watching that challenge, but not going to his whistle. Birdsall kind of letting him play. He did give that caution to Jordan Raleigh in the 52nd minute. But there have been a number of other dangerous challenges thus far in this match. Kelderman sends it right into the chest of Kalina Hansen. No handball. Kelderman trying to be physical with Hansen. But Hansen wins the battle as the ball goes out beyond the end line. Hey, give credit to Kalina Hansen. In place right now of Shannon McWilliams, and she gets the job done there against one of the better players you'll find collegiately in the city of Milwaukee. Jordan Raleigh comes off for the Torrent, replaced by Elena Eckerts. Another player familiar with the ways of Valley Fields with Marquette. The international exhibitions that come to what is now American Family Field, always very well attended. Mentioned Valley Fields. When Swansea City came to town, they actually trained at the Valley. Not a surprise. An outstanding grass pitch just down the street from American Family Field. And the box tripped up. There was the penalty kick given to the Torrent in the first half, but that came well after the ball left the foot of the Bavarian player, and Birdsall says, I don't want to decide the match that way. Another optimistic attempt there for the Bavarians, and all that will come of that is a goal kick for the Torrent. 71st minute now. Sub for the Bavarians, Emma Tabor returns. Rachel Dallett comes off for the Bavarians. Torrent trying to push the ball forward. A lot of Bavarian gray shirts there. They regain possession. And as they have done much of the second half, they will just push forward. A nice step over. Gets Mackenzie Balserac to fall on her backside. The Bavarians just toying with the Torrent now. Ball in the middle. Still an even match. Shot well wide. It was there. The Bavarians just not getting good contact on their finishes at the moment. But they are getting shots, that's for sure. Maybe we shouldn't be surprised that the Bavarians play a style that should probably look pretty familiar to a lot of you Torrent fans. You know, this is the way the Torrent play a lot. Take a lot of shots, play very active, play physically. No surprises tonight, but we didn't expect any surprises with two teams that know each other this well, that have players that consider each other sisters almost. Part of the lexicon in Marquette soccer is that it is a family, and players call each other sisters. It's been a long-standing tradition, of course. Before Frank Pelaez was the head coach at Marquette, you go back to Marcus Roders in the many years he was at the helm at that program. Marcus Roders, one of my favorite guys on planet Earth. A guy who was a big Bayern Munich fan. Got to bring up Bayern Munich on a night that you're playing a team called the Bavarians, of course. Ball punched away on a dangerous cross. At that angle, I didn't think it was going to turn into much of anything, but Quinlan Warren wisely disrupted that attack. Sneaky dangerous cross from the Bavarians. Now out of the back, Schmelzer sends it forward. Comes up a little short, and that might be the wind coming into play again. We're not seeing it gusting as hard as it did earlier in the match. That'll be a foul on the Bavarians. It is noteworthy. We are now at the point where we are 30 minutes or so. We are in the 74th minute into the second half. And in the first half, we saw that flurry of goals in the first 21 minutes. But then we mentioned that as the half went on, it seemed like the Bavarians slowed down a tad and the Torrent had a little bit more possession. Here in the second half, the Bavarians have had a lot of possession. But now we're reaching that point where maybe some fatigue starts to set in. And also with this match still level, Some of the adrenaline starts pumping too. There's a good ball sent forward. Elena Eckert will chase it down. Who will come forward for the Torrent? No one before a nice defensive stop by the Bavarians. Give some credit to Michaela Schmelzer for knocking that one away. Throw in for the Torrent. Kalina Hansen out of the back. Just playing a back and forth game with Elena Eckert. Tries to send the ball towards the middle. Touched away by the Bavarians, and they will go on the counter. Alex Campana sends it towards the middle. Mackenzie Schill passes on, taking a touch. Haley Block instead sends it back. And once again, the Bavarians will try and organize. Block out wide. A couple touches. Then Block on the far side. Look at the organization. Unsurprising for a team named after a region in Germany. Of course, the Germans, their national squad, Die Mannschaft, often considered to be one of the most organized soccer clubs on planet Earth. Of course, you may remember the way they dismantled the Brazilians in the World Cup in Brazil, on their way to winning the championship in South America that year. But this will be a throw-in for the Torrent. Not that Andy Davi knows anything about Germany or Bavaria. Of course, the Torrent linked up with Bayer Leverkusen. Nice ball over the top, looking for Elena Eckert, but the keeper Stratman gets there first. Andy Davi knows quite a bit about the game in Deutschland. Quite a few connections with his homeland. Nice move. Ball taken away. Jordan Raleigh out wide. Elena Eckert unmarked for the moment. Looking to make a move towards the top corner, but just over. Elena Eckert captures the attention of the crowd, but can't get the goal to give the Torrent the advantage. Outstanding effort. Best opportunity of the second half, and we mentioned that can happen. As much as the Bavarians have had the ball in the second half, it can also lead your back line to fall asleep a little bit. Torrent almost took advantage. 78th minute of the match. Another run for the Torrent. Trying to navigate through three Bavarian defenders. Elsie Twombly outside. Raleigh able to get over the ball. Out off the Bavarians. Throw in for the Torrent. Deep in the attacking third. We'll get a substitution for the Torrent. Katz Mareka will return. Smareka replaces Elsie Twombly for the Torrent. Raleigh, cross. That goes wide of the nets. We're seeing Raleigh play a little bit more along the outside right now. Almost wonder if maybe that's Andy Davi trying to play a little trick on the Bavarians. Goodness knows how dangerous of a finisher Raleigh is. Lull them to sleep a little bit with Raleigh on the outside, then move her back towards the center in maybe the last 5 minutes of the match. And maybe she can get that game-winning strike. There she tries to send the through ball along the left flank. Two Bavarian defenders. On top of Elena Eckert, the ball hits the flag and stays in. The official decides to let things continue and then gives a throw-in to the Milwaukee Torrent. Is it a throw-in or a corner? Okay, he's going to say that with the ball going off the flag, I believe he's going to say this should be a corner kick. Even the crowd asking whether it's a throw-in or a corner. The official kind of gave a oddly directed signal. Instead, we're going to call this a free kick from that spot, not a corner, because it wasn't inside of the corner circle. Taken by Kelly Swenson. Nothing there at first. Now, with the ball just inside the end line. Svensson was able to keep it from going out. Kelderman sends it down the side. The linesman says that it did go out in the process of hooking back onto the pitch. The question is where the throw-in should come from. The linesman's going to tell Raleigh to come back in the direction of the Torrent bench. She keeps moving on southward. And they'll let Raleigh take the throw from there. On the bounce, Smreka pushed off the ball by Josie Kelderman, and that's an outstanding veteran defensive move from, again, the coach's daughter, Josie Kelderman. And she is able to give the Bavarians a goal kick. 81st minute of this match. After we had 4 goals in the first 21 minutes, things have gone quiet since. Perhaps a handball there. No call. Now we do get the whistle. It'll be called against the Torrent. Quick restart for the Bavarians. Kellerman near side. Takes a couple touches, then sends it down the pitch along the right side. As the Bavarians are wont to do, they play direct. Step over, Campana moving towards the middle. Gets by one defender, loses possession. Saver with the 2 goals. It takes it away. Kelly Swenson towards the right side. Johnston can't get by the defender. Played towards the near side. Hattori. Ball into the box. Torrent will let it go over the end line. The intensity picking up a little bit here as we are into the final 10 minutes before stoppage time. 82nd minute of the match. Kelly Swenson sends the free kick. Headed once and twice by the Bavarians. Trying to win the second ball. The Bavarians did for the moment. Torrent get possession briefly. Now they have it. Torrent again playing without Shannon McWilliams or Kylie Sprecher right now. 2 key components. Both down to injury from earlier in this match. Nice move through the middle. Smreka to the outside. Eckert. She's got room. Can she find a Torrent foot with a cross? Along the ground. Back to Smreka. Shot on. Saved! Ali Strutman. The Torrent threatened, but the Bavarians answer the call. 83rd minute of the match. Nothing there for the Bavarians. It goes right to the head of Kelly Swenson. Torrent can't maintain possession, though. Coming back to the near side, Kelderman. She takes her customary couple touches, then sends the ball towards the box. Headed away again, Kelly Swenson. Bavarians get the second ball. Shot on. Saved! Quinlan Warren. The Torrent take a good shot. Strotman is there. The Bavarians try to answer. Warren is there. After the offensive outburst early in the first half, both keepers have stepped up here in the second. Bavarians again with possession. There have been some spaces at times in the Torrent defense. Into the middle, the sisters communicate well, sent out. Corner kick for the Bavarians. Nervous moments for Andy Davi on the Torrent touchline. We'll see a Torrent substitution. Taylor DeLong returns. She's got Johnston. Into the box, headed towards net, over the top of the crossbar. Alex Campana trying to give the Bavarians the lead. Just a little bit too much on it. Still 2-2, 85th minute. Kelly Swinson again. Again, the Bavarians there for the goal kick. Hansen beyond the touchline, throw in for the Bavarians. Quick throw from Kelderman. Tabor into the box, but they say it went out beyond the end line first. A lot of possession again for the Bavarians over the last couple minutes. But they're just a little bit off when it comes to finishing. Near side, Jordan Raleigh avoids contact with Kelderman. Out of bounds, Kelderman to throw. Over the top with the throw. Hansen a little bit heavy with the touch, controlled by the Torrent. That is Jordan Raleigh who's back in there. She is on yellow right now. Been the rare match over the course of the 2021 season, and even dating back further than that Jordan Raleigh has not scored for the Torrent. Jelena Saver with the 2 goals for the Torrent tonight. One from the penalty spot in the 9th minute, the other in the 22nd. Mackenzie Schill back in for the Bavarians. Emma Tabor comes off. A lot of confidence in the back line for the Bavarians. Unsurprising. Again, with names like Spielman, Zanoni, Ben, Scalisi. No surprise that the Bavarians are a well-coached squad. Ball sent towards the middle. Touched away. Bavarians over the ball. Towards net. Deflected. That should be a corner kick for the Bavarians. And it is. Referee Ryan Birdsall, perhaps heeding the pleas of the Bavarians for a handball. They may have wanted that to be a set piece, a couple yards outside the box. Instead, they will accept the corner. This will come in the 88th minute. In swinger. Headed towards net. Kept out by the Torrent. Still in the middle. Scrap for possession. Sent away. Right place, right time. Now the Torrent will maybe look to counter. Kelderman puts her head on it a couple times, then pushes down Jelena Saver. This will be a free kick for the Torrent. That was a two-handed shove, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed, we see Kelderman shown the yellow card. I will give credit to Ryan Birdsall tonight. He has, for the most part, let these two sides play, but when things have gotten overly aggressive, he has gone to the book. Looks like we're seeing an indication of 2 minutes of added time. This comes with the match in the 89th minute. We'll get that confirmed. Again, those gray uniforms of the Bavarians, you can see the sweat on the back of the Bavarian players. They are tired. And with time ticking down from the hourglass in this match, the Torrent might try to take advantage of that fatigue here late in the contest. Again, missing a few components right now. Referee calls for this throw in to come from further back. Foul against the Torrent. Torrent fans not happy with the call. There was a lot of ball, but there was also contact with the player. Could go either way. They do whistle Jordan Raleigh for the call. Ball sent forward by Blanchard. Aggressive move by the Torrent. They're going to call Alex Campana for a foul. I'll be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure what Ryan Birdsall saw there. Looked like a good challenge from two players for the ball. Sent forward by Kelly Swinson. Jordan Raleigh has spent a lot of time on the ground tonight. Been a tough match for her. She gets up, though, as the ball comes in her direction. Kind of bounces around between her legs. She gets through a defender. Tries to send it over the top, looking for Elena Eckert. Can't find her, although the ball goes through the defender's legs. Eckert had an opportunity there. We are into the second minute of added time. Bavarians with possession again. Kelderman near side. Patient. Sends the ball direct right to the Torrent. Saver. Scrap for possession in the midfield. Out beyond the touchline. We're going to have a sub for the Torrent. Elsie Twombly returns. Bavarians, far side. Deke, sent wide. Played along the touchline towards the edge of the 18. Shot up and over the nets. That was a ducking effort. And it almost ducked right under the crossbar. And after one like that, if you're the Torrent, maybe you're content to walk away with 1 point in this contest. And indeed, that is the final whistle, and that is your match. After 4 goals in the first 21 minutes of the contest, this one finishes as a 2-2 draw. As much as FC Milwaukee Torrent wanted to win this contest, in the end, both teams will come away having to be satisfied with the tie. Helena Saver in the 9th minute of the penalty, following a handball by the Bavarians, and then Saver again in the 22nd minute from distance. Meanwhile, for the Bavarians, Haley Block answered Saver's goal in the 9th minute with one in the 10th, and then Michaela Schmelzer scored one in the 21st minute, although Saver got that answer in the 22nd. Couple of bookings. Jordan Raleigh got carded in the 52nd minute. Josie Kelderman in the 88th. But at the end of the day, again, after each team scored once and answered once in the first half, the end result is a 2-2 draw. Again, not a surprising result. Maybe it's just the path to the result that is a little bit surprising, the way that this one went tonight. Considering that you saw as many goals as you did early on in the contest, really the second half turned into a combination of some defensive scrambling on the part of the Torrent and some opportunities that maybe the Bavarians want back. Not to mention the Torrent had some good chances too, but we're going to give credit to both Allie Strotman and Quinlan Warren. Obviously, neither walking away with a clean sheet tonight, but both rose to the occasion a number of times in the second half, and they did the job this evening in nets when it came to securing a draw for their respective sides. So a 2-2 final as the Torrent and the Bavarians play to a draw. Of course, these two teams will meet again later this season. That match will take place along I-43 on Tuesday, July 6th with a start time of 7 p.m. However, we do always encourage you to come out and witness Milwaukee Torrent soccer in person. Your next opportunity to see the Torrent women here at Hart Park will come on Friday, July 2nd. Start your 4th of July weekend off right, as you can watch the Milwaukee Torrent women take on Chicago City SC, trying to get revenge for the 2-1 defeat that the Torrent women took against Chicago City back on June 5th. Start time for FC Milwaukee Torrent and Chicago City SC on July 2nd will be 7 p.m. here at Hart Park, and there will be a lot to do here at Hart Park as that match is going on, as I'm sure the city of Wauwatosa will be kicking off their 4th of July festivities in Hart Park to the east of where the match will be held. Meanwhile, don't forget that the men are in action as well on Sunday. Come on out to Hart Park for the men and FC Indiana. We haven't even mentioned yet that the men are a perfect 6-0 thus far on their NPSL season, and they are looking to make it 7-0 against an FC Indiana team that, between you, me, and the wall on paper, appears to be very beatable. They are at the bottom of the conference right now. Start time for that match will be 3 o'clock on Sunday. We want to see you out here at Hart Park. It'll be a real good time as the men take on FC Indiana. But tonight's, it was the Torrent and the Bavarians in our local derby, and this one was played to a 2-2 draw. I want to thank everyone for helping out as much as they can with the broadcast. Simon Provan certainly riding Space Mountain right now and having a good time down in Florida. Kevin O'Connor on the public address mic. And, of course, John Banak as my producer. My name is Dan Pfeiffer saying be a fan. Thanks for watching, and do join us again on Sunday. We'll have Matt Menzel on the call of that one. But in the meantime, your final score tonight, one more time, FC Milwaukee Torrent 2, Bavarian United Soccer Club 2. Thanks again for joining us. You have been watching Milwaukee Torrent Soccer on 11 Sports.